welcome to another episode of Beauty Told. It's your girl Britt, and today we're gonna do things a little differently with story time. It's been a while since I did story time with y'all, and believe it or not, the topic is probably not what you were expecting. So we're gonna talk about how I was in a situationship for a year and a half, and it took forever for me to realize that that was exactly what it was. So my hopes is that by my testimony of what I went through, I can help save someone else the time and energy spent on someone who doesn't deserve it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And of course, I'm going to always have my handy dandy faith journal. Now, not much was needed to be written down today in regards to today because it's stories, it's my life. So, I don't need to write it down. So, for the sake of identity, let's just say his name was Leroy. So me and Leroy, we had been friends for quite some time. He was in and out of relationships, and I was kind of like the person that he confided in of different, maybe issues or problems that are going on in the relationship. Okay, fine. Because at the moment, and at that time, I was married. So, there was really nothing there. Fast forward, I divorced. I finally reveal it because I'm a very private person. So a lot of people did not know what I was going through throughout my marriage. And definitely a lot of people were caught off guard when it did finally come to an end and was finalized as a divorce because I didn't feel the need to tell everybody. So, anyways, I eventually tell him. And he's like so like, shocked, of course, and at the same time excited because he's like, well, finally, I get my chance with you. He's like, I have been a patient gentleman, but I have always desired you, and finally is my turn. Not gonna lie, I was physically attracted to him as well, but there was never a time where that line was crossed. Ever. I don't play that. So we decided to hang out at his house. Again, this is someone that I had known for years as just a friend. So we kind of skipped the whole dating thing in a sense because our first kind of date was at his house. Nothing happened on this particular night. Um, but I remember expressing to him, my want of having these like sneaker house shoes. Like you could buy them like they were like the Yeezys and your Air Forces and Jordans, and they were just like so oversized. They remind you of back when bananas and pajamas with the big old shoes and everything. And I just loved them. He had a pair, and I admired them, and that was pretty much that. Well, little did I realize the next time that I would see him, he actually had a surprise for me, and he had gotten me a pair of Air Max house shoe sneakers. They were so cute. And it just really showed me like, wow, he was listening to me. Wow, he really cares. Wow, this is a different side of him that I'm not used to. Like this could be different, but a good different. And I like it, right? So we continued talking. We would have deep conversations when we would talk. We were not talking every single day, but we would at least have some type of line of communication, whether it was texting each other, whether it was messaging each other, through Instagram, whether it was having conversations on the phone or seeing each other in person and having those conversations in person. Okay, great. As you guys already know, eventually it led to the um, and when it did finally happen, it was explosive. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing. It was great, but that's sometimes where the trap is that you leap in too soon to do to do, and you get kind of caught up in the lust of everything. So beauties out there, be careful of being moving too fast and getting caught up in the lust and desires on a, sexual, chemistry type of bond versus having the real, true, stronger foundation and bond, which is friendship, which is connection, which is um, commonalities. You want to have a lot of things in common, and you just want to be able to have everything kind of laid out before you finally get to that point. Moved way ahead of myself and did that. And that's where the soul tie can come into play as well. So I definitely can say that it definitely became a soul tie. I used to confide in my girlfriends, like, man, it's been 3 months. I've never had to wait this long for a guy to say he wants me to be his girl. My friends be like, oh, just give it more time. Like, he'll come around. I don't think it's a big deal. But for me, guys, and it's not me pumping myself up, but I'm not used to that. I'm used to guys, they know what they want, and they immediately are like, hey, you want to be my girl? Hey, I would love you to be my girl. So this was a little different than what your girl Britt was used to. But okay, patience. Patience is a virtue, right? So I waited. We kept hanging out. Mind you, when I'm saying hanging out, we're not going on dates. And at a certain point in time, I actually even brought it to his attention. When are we gonna actually go on a date instead of just always just chilling at your house and we watching a movie, Netflix and chilling. Like, when are we actually gonna go out? When are you actually gonna spend some money? Show that you actually really care about getting to know me, and me also getting to know you. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. So, a lot of times in situationships, beauties, you will find that there's a lot of empty promises. There's a lot of empty promises, and it's sad to realize that I continued to let this type of behavior go on for as long as I did, and still giving myself to someone who isn't fully dedicating and giving to me. So, again, I'm just hoping through my story, it helps you to kind of shine some light on maybe your situation. Maybe you can catch it early enough where it doesn't have to go a whole year and a half of you being in the midst of confusion, because I was. And I was getting, breadcrumbed along the way. Oh, I could really see myself loving you one day. Oh, I could, oh, you haven't been out of the country. I'm gonna make sure that that happens. Like, just all of the breadcrumbing, the future faking, and the expectations that never came to reality exist. And you tend to just, feed off of that, and you believe it, and you trust this person, so you're thinking that things will change. I had so many countless conversations. Months now have rolled past. As you guys know, we passed the 3 month mark. Months are still rolling. My birthday comes, y'all. My birthday comes. I'm thinking I'll at least get some flowers, maybe a card, something. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. Didn't even hang out with me for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Other than the fact of me being a little bit under the influence, just a smidget, and coming to relax with him, that led to other things. So all I got was that as my birthday gift. Late, ladies, we've got to have better standards for ourselves. We cannot just continue to give girlfriend benefits and we don't even have the title to match up with it. It's not adding up. And oh, I got you for your birthday. I got you for your birthday. Things just a little tight right now, but I got you for your birthday. Never happened. Never happened. Never happened. Holidays. Christmas comes around. Still nothing. Um, I remember at one point I had gotten him a Father's Day gift because he had got me the Air Max sneakers. And I just knew for Mother's Day, I get something. Matter of fact, Mother's Day was the sneakers. I take that back. But birthdays are big importance to me, and that was like the biggest devastation was that my birthday came around and nothing. So it definitely started me realizing that this may not be leading to what I think it's leading to. But we still continue to spend more time together with the hopes that, it'll change, I'm just hoping it'll change. And guys, there were time and points where I was doing research. I was looking up YouTube videos on this. I'm like, yo, am I in a situationship? Because this ain't seeming to add up right for me. Like now we are like what, 6 months, 7 months, still nothing. Like I don't think my girls kind of know what I'm in here, and it shouldn't take a guy that long to commit to a relationship. I don't care at this point. I knew something was off. So when you start to have that gut feeling, because ladies, we have that women's intuition, please, 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 please listen to it because it is ultimately telling you the absolute truth. I ignored it. I was doing the research. I was finding things that definitely added up to the situationship, but then I'm like, well, no, because he's not having periods of time of not communicating with me. So no, maybe it's not. Or we did finally eventually go on like a date to like this diner place. I'm like, okay, well, he did finally take me out on a date. So I was using the little smallest things, the smallest efforts, because he wasn't putting forth a lot of effort. So I'm using the smallest efforts to be like, okay, maybe this isn't a situationship because he is doing this, or he is doing that, or he is saying this. Yeah, we rolling into a new year at this point, and I'm bringing it up multiple times. So, beauties, if you have to keep bringing it up multiple times about the same thing and you're not getting any results, it is now turned into insanity. This is insane. There is no reason why we should still be having this type of conversation repeatedly and nothing. Sometimes when I look back on this whole situation, I truly believe God was trying to show me ways that I should have been out a long time ago. And I ignored all the red flags. I ignored them all. I ignored them all. They were waving in my face, beauties and gents. I ignored them all. And it's not good to beat yourself up about it, and things like that. The only thing you can do at this point is take it as a life lesson. And again, if I'm going to take it as a life lesson, I'm going to help someone else to not have to go through what I went through. Because that was a lot. It was disappointing. It was heartbreaking. And eventually you start to find the strength, and I deserve better. I value myself more than this. I'm not just going to continue to be, um, you know, sex on demand for you, where I'm coming to satisfy that desire and that's it. Like, I'm worth more than that. I am better than this. And there is someone out here who will see my worth and see my value and treat me like the queen that I deserve to be. Guys, eventually, and like I said, it's sometimes embarrassing for me to admit this, but off and on, because there were moments where I cut him off and I'm like, you know what, no more. And then he would kind of find his way to kind of, you know, wiggle back in with, oh, like, just give me time. Are you kidding me? I would never have let this much time go and you not be, my girl. It's just I've been hurt before, so it's a scary situation for me. But if you just give me time, that was a red flag right there. Missed it. You've been hurt before, so that means you haven't healed. So what good is a broken person gonna do for me, who has went through the healing process of the demise of her marriage and was able to make it to the other side of that? A broken person cannot be your whole person. I'm sorry. It just cannot be. But eventually, guys, I stopped listening to my girlfriends. I've stopped listening to the little empty promises, and I started listening to my heart. I started listening to God and the different signs, videos, other people's situations that helped me realize like this isn't gonna ever go anywhere. You have already wasted over a year of your time, getting ready to be a year and a half. When is enough enough? And beauties, that's what I need you to kind of reevaluate in some alone time, in your prayer time. When is enough enough? Because at the end of the day, we cannot continue this vicious cycle. This cycle would have continued had I not cut the cord. I had to cut it completely. I had to close my legs and say enough was enough. And I'm going to save myself for the person who is deserving of all of me and not just caring about this piece of me, but wants to desire to get to know me, the real me, the person beyond the beauty. So if I can say anything from me having to have went through a situationship, to sum it all up, situationships are always going to come with confusion. Always going to come with confusion. There's never any clarity. As you already know, there's no title. You don't have a title. It's just give it time. Let's just go with the flow. We'll figure things out as we go. There's no rush. You are my person. So let's just continue to enjoy one another and enjoy the moment. Now, if you can, start to realize what they're saying. Stop letting it go over your head and really break it down. Really start to realize what they're really saying because technically they're telling you what to expect with this. We just choosing not to listen to it. Like he said when he said that he was hurt before. I refuse to understand the fact that he wasn't ready for a relationship is what that equaled out to. So if that's what I was wanting, but that's not what he's wanting, we're wasting each other's time. Or at least I'm wasting my time because it's not going to change. You cannot change a man. So, and yeah, lack of dates. We weren't going on. I was begging at this point to finally get dates. And in a year and a half time frame, do y'all know how many dates we actually went on? I still can only remember of one. I'm gonna maybe even be nice and say two. We deserve better. We're gonna get better because we're gonna do the work. We're gonna do the evaluation of ourselves, and we're gonna realize that God has better for us if we just stop trying to hold on to what we want and desire. Sit back and let God move, and you'll be amazed at who He can send. Because fast forward to now, I have an awesome and amazing person who also will remain anonymous, okay? Who has truly been a blessing in my life, continues to be a blessing, continues to let me know that I'm a queen, continues to let me know that I am just like adored, and we have not even gotten to the part of anything. So, and that's definitely going to be some time from now because let's see if this continues because I'm smarter and wiser now. And I'm using what I went through with that situationship to realize that I never ever want to be in that again. And I won't. Because when you know better, you do better. Okay, beauties? Even okay, gents, maybe what I need to do is have a part two of this. Let's hear the male side of it. Has there ever been males who have been in a situationship? What all happens with that when the male wants a relationship and the beauty is not really into that? That lady doesn't really want to do that. I would love to hear the male side of it. That would be awesome. So keep sticking with your girl. I'm gonna definitely bring that to focus because that's going to be a great topic to hear from the male point of view. I'm looking forward to that. Heck, I'm gonna be tuned in myself, okay? After I interview with them, I'm gonna be rewatching. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to me, listening to my story. Again, if it can change one person's life to be like, I don't want to continue to go through this, what Britt went through, I don't have to go through. It's a choice. And I hope moving forward that you make the right choice. As always, my beauties and gents, I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of Beauty Toe. It's your girl Britt, and let's make a change.